Warning. I'm on a journey to handicap home runs in Major League Baseball. I'm not claiming to be sharp, I'm not claiming to have an edge. I bet based on the 3 Ps, pitcher, park, and price. We probably won't win long term. This is for entertainment and education. If you like the video, continue liking the video because you guys are sending Green Means Go to the moon. Call me Katy Perry. I don't think she made it that far. I'm not going to victory lap, although it feels darn good to show up on a Wednesday hump day with a positive 2.67 unit day behind us. I feel very good about how yesterday went, not only because we won, but by the way we were able to slim down some of our options, complement that with some other plays, and build a well-rounded portfolio. Now it helps when the Yankees, Bellinger, Rice, they all shell. They got off to a great lead. We hit that first 5 money line, Luis Garcia, Nathaniel Lowe. We did extend a little bit, broke our rule of 3 per team with Washington, but it paid off handsomely. Marte at 11-1 was huge, and Lindor, we hit both of our picks for the New York Mets game. So that's fantastic. We hit Gleyber Torres late at 625 and Andrew Benintendi at 580. So an absolute mash of a day. We did go 1-1 on our prop picks. Remember the Cleveland game? I had team total over 1.5 home runs. Sadly, that would have cashed, but the line was only at 1 home run or 0.5 home runs for minus 270. Wasn't going to lay the juice. It never got up to 1.5, so I stayed off. Again, that would have cashed. It is what it is. You know, that was supposed to complement Manzardo, who I could not afford in my pick 3 per team. He ended up hitting one, so a little bit unlucky there, but it reinforces the fact that I think I'm on to a better strategy. Cincinnati got canceled, all those voided, so we didn't end up playing that. So overall, a great day yesterday. Let's look at today. I do have an announcement for our Novig drawing. Remember, 25 signups using code GMGGO or GMGO, and we'll give away $100 on the channel. Now, there's only been 2, and I messaged them, and they said, well, they can't just sign up. They have to actually deposit or purchase cash. So if you have not made a purchase, but you've signed up, in order to get to that 25, you do have to make a purchase. So it's like a deposit. You have to buy fake cash with real cash. That's the loophole with some of these exchanges. Sweepstakes types books. So if you have signed up, but you have not purchased cash or deposited, it's not going to count. So that is the update there. That is why we're a little bit behind. Today's slate is worse than yesterday. But again, there are some opportunities. A couple of things that I want to point out before we move on. There are 2 games today in Cincinnati. There's the early game at 12:40 in about an hour and a half, and then there is the late game at 6 o'clock. I will likely be adding more plays for this late game just because the conditions are so good. We'll wait for lineups. It'll be late in the day. It'll be like 5 o'clock. I'll tweet them out. I'll add them to the comments of this video, but I just want you to be aware that typically I skip doubleheaders. In this case, I may try to play some. Atlanta and Colorado. I am going to play some in this high altitude game, though the conditions are a little bit better today than they were yesterday. Glad I laid off yesterday. Not too many home runs. Austin Riley at 340, Ozzie Albies at 550, Alex Verdugo at 750, and then for Colorado, Hunter Goodman and Kyle Farmar are the only plays in that one. The early game in Cincinnati, again, an hour and a half from now, we have the same plays as yesterday. Novelli, Marte, I think that's correct. Why don't we just go Marte back-to-back? 2 days Martes, please. We hit Starling yesterday. Why not Novelli? I hope I'm saying his name right, but I know I'm not. Spencer Steer at 575, Gavin Lux at 630, and I'm adding in Matt McLain again. 3 per team unless I want to have more. We're going to go Matt McLain, 475 on DraftKings. Now, I have officially locked in this purple play. The line is out. 0.25 unit play at plus 154 for Cincinnati's team total home runs over 1.5. I had a comment yesterday saying I can't find the line. Look, the lineups have to be released before FanDuel puts these props up. So if both lineups have not been released for the teams, FanDuel does not have the line. When they release the line, just go to the popular tab on the game, scroll down, you'll see Cincinnati team total home runs. 158 to hit 2, or going with it for 0.25 units. For St. Louis, Wilson Contreras, Brendan Donovan, Nolan Arenado, we're running it back. Again, I like these matchups versus the pitcher. The park's good. We ride. Baltimore, New York, we saw a massive display of home runs yesterday. I don't think we get that today. I'm keeping it very light. Anthony Volpe, I think, has really good value at 10-1, and Roman Urias at 10-1 also. One for Baltimore, one for New York. However, I think Baltimore is really slated to attack Carlos Carrasco in this one. They have a lot of lefties they can throw at him, and while I don't like their prices to hit a home run given the conditions, I do think there's value in this lineup. So we're going to go with Baltimore's first 5 team total over 2.5. So in the first 5 innings, Baltimore Orioles putting up at least 3 runs gets us to the cash land. Again, I don't think a lot of home runs will be had in this game, but if they are, hopefully we can cash it, and it's early in the game. I was teasing an idea of going Baltimore money line, but I don't think Cade Povich is the best pitcher for Baltimore. I think the Yankees could have some success against him. The first 5 total team total made me a little nervous, so I'm just going to go with Baltimore. That's where I think the edge is. Baltimore team total over 2.5 first 5. Texas and the Athletics, another game where I can't quite figure out what this stadium really possesses in terms of home run potential. Severino's on the mound. I'll take Josh Smith and Jonah Heim. 700, 650, good prices. Didn't see a lot of value on Oakland side. Maybe Lawrence Butler, but price wasn't right, so I just decided to lay off. Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Warm weather, decent conditions, winds blowing in. We aren't sure how that affects things. Kansas City is pitching a lefty today, which goes against what I typically like to do for Tampa Bay, which is take lefties. However, I do think that Jonathan Aranda, I think it's actually Aranda. I listened to a broadcast and the Tampa Bay announcer said Aranda. So we're going to go with Jonathan Aranda from here on out. 650 against the lefty. I would not place this on FanDuel just in case he does not start, but he does pinch hit. I'm placing it on DraftKings so it will void if he's not in the lineup, but I like his matchup regardless. And then notice here, I am going 0.05. I'm going less units on these. Kyle Isbell, 1,600. Drew Waters, 900. Again, I don't really love them, but I think their prices are too good. The park is fine. Pitching's not great, but I think there's value still here, but not tremendous amounts. So I am putting 0.05, certainly less units than normal, half of what I normally put on each of these guys. Optimistic for the game in LA. How many times do I have to say that? Breaking the rule, we're going with 4 Dodgers bats. Mookie Betts at 550, Freddie Freeman 420, Teoscar Hernandez 475, and Tommy Edman at 800. I would also take the Dodgers team total home runs over 1.5 if it's minus 115 or better on FanDuel. Again, we will not know until lineups are released, so stay tuned. I'll add it to the comments. I'll tweet it out. I need to get a Telegram or a Discord or something. It would just make it so much more easy because I don't think people on Twitter care, and I don't think you guys are coming back to check the comments of these videos halfway through the day. I try to comment them and then I pin them so they're at the top, but I know that's not the best way to do it. So what's a Telegram? I don't even know what a Telegram is, but Discord is annoying for a lot of reasons. That's the play. For Miami, just Eric Wagaman. That's it. 625, keeping it light. Tyler Gonsolin is on the mound. First start this year. Don't know what he's going to bring. He's been okay in the minors as he's been warming back up, but I think Wagaman has what it takes to take anyone deep, so it's the only place I see value. This Toronto and Boston game is bizarre right now because Toronto has not released their starting pitcher. If it is who it's supposed to be, which now I've forgotten his name, Casey Atwell or something like that. If it's him, there are going to be plays. So I wrote on here, need Toronto's pitcher because I don't have any Boston plays, but I will have them if this is the pitcher who they ultimately decide to start. Regardless, for Boston, who's pitching Lucas Giolito today, George Springer 630, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 500. We laid off Vlad yesterday. He went yard. Let's go back to back, Vladdy Daddy, please. And thank you. But again, Boston will have plays eventually. Stay tuned until that pitcher is out. If it's the guy I think, we'll have some action. This is a mess. I'm sorry. This is a mess. There's no other way to put it. Padres and San Francisco. 2 green plays because I just think these odds are ridiculous. For 2 guys who have the power, Michael King hasn't been top-notch. Jung-Ho Lee and Wilmer Flores. Both over 10-1. I actually put 0.15 units on Jung-Ho Lee here because I think the value is so good. I don't want to pass it up. So that is the ultimate play there. I should have added him down here to hits, runs, RBIs. Maybe I'll do that as well. I just think his matchup is tremendous. I'm going to add him down here to RBIs. I don't know why I didn't. Hits, runs, RBIs. We'll get to that in a second. Wilmer Flores, same, 11-1. Nobody for the Padres. Philadelphia and Washington. Conditions aren't so good today. A little chilly. Wind is blowing back. I do think there's some value in a few lefties. Harper and Stott are the only plays I have in this game. Again, I'm nervous about this one. I'm kind of back and forth. I actually teased with the idea of Philly first five, but ultimately I couldn't find value. I'm laying off. Houston to Detroit. This one is massive, and I need you to lock in because I think there is value to be had here. We'll start with Houston. Isaac Paredes, 720. I think Detroit's pitcher, who has been dealing this year, is going to come out and continue to deal. Jackson Joby, I believe is his name. And so I am not optimistic about the Houston Bats today. I am very optimistic about Detroit. The Houston Astros are pitching a guy for the first time in the major leagues, and his name is Blue Ball. His last name is Blue Ball. His last name is Blue Ball. So, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I think the Tigers have some major potential here, especially with the top half of their lineup against him. Instead of throwing out a bunch on guys to hit home runs whose odds are not where I want them, I think we can play Zach McKinstry at 8-1 and have value. I think we could play Colt Keith down here. Sorry, he was not originally going to be in the starting lineup, so books did not have lines. Luckily, right before I made this video, Detroit reached the starting lineup. He's in the lineup, so I found him at 8-1 on ESPN. I'm taking it. Now, 2 plays only for Detroit. However, we're kind of triple dipping here. And tail what you want. I see value. I'm playing it. You don't have to do this. But again, we could be double burned. I'm taking Tigers first 5 money line at plus 120. They should be the favorite in this matchup with how well Joby has been pitching and with this guy hopefully being able to be shelled by some of these Tigers bats. 4th best offense in the majors right now is facing a guy who's just coming out of the minors. I'm going 0.3 units on Tigers first 5 money line at 120. And then I'm going a half a unit on the Tigers to score 2 runs at minus 140 on Hard Rock, and I'm going 0.2 units on them to score 3 runs at plus 140. I think the line should be 2.5 as is. I think there should be a pick 'em at 2.5. I just see advantages left and right in this Tigers lineup, and I could be wrong, and I could come back here, and I could lose a whole unit right here. And I understand that, and I get that, and that's part of it. So ideally, they score 3 runs and win the first 5, and we're feeling really good. Worst case is they lose the first 5, and they don't even score 2. It could happen. We could get blue balled. No pun intended. For the Angels, I don't like a lot in this game. I'm also skipping Milwaukee and Chicago. Nothing there. Angels and Seattle. Seattle has been really pounding the ball, but I think we missed the boat on Polanco. He's just, his price is too low. Cal Raleigh's always going to be pretty low. Shonowell at 10-1 is all I have. Cleveland and Milwaukee. No. Cleveland and Minnesota. The opposite of what we had yesterday. Cold weather, wind blowing in. It's not good. Only guy I saw with value is Jose Ramirez. And then for the Arizona and New York Mets game, Corbin Burns is pitching. I'm only going 3 plays for the Mets. Winker, Lindor, and Soto. However, I do think that the Mets have the advantage in this one. They've been rolling, and I don't love what Arizona is doing offensively right now. And I think they're going to struggle in these colder temperatures today. And so I'm going Mets money line, minus 103. I think Mets should be favored, maybe minus 120, minus 125. So I think there's value at minus 103, 0.25 units up to purple prop play. Again, we talked about Colt Keith being up here with Zach McKinstry. Okay, so our round robin today, 0.25 units. We can't hit one of these. I mean, we're bleeding. What's our round robin? Here we go. Okay, we're down 2.5 units on these parlays. So you take out 2.5 units here. We're not doing too bad. These parlays are killing us. We got to hit one. And hopefully today's the day. We're going Spencer Steer in the early game, Austin Riley in the afternoon game, Teoscar Hernandez in the afternoon game, Jung Ho Lee in the afternoon game, and Springer to round it out. I'll keep making this promise. We hit all 5, bald. We hit 4 out of 5. Buzz cut, mustache only. We hit 3 out of 5, mustache only. We hit 2 out of 5, I come back excited. 2 out of 5. I mean, surely we could be hit 2 out of 5. Why can't we hit 2 out of 5? Our hits, runs, and RBIs yesterday were profitable. If you put a half a unit on each, you would be up 0.5 units after this whole day. Today, a lot better odds. Yesterday, some of these odds were pretty juiced. A lot better odds today. Urias, Wilson, Aranda, Bush, Springer, Paredes, Green, and Shonwell. I really like Green to home run. I didn't like his price. I really like Bush's matchup, but I think the park doesn't really lend itself to home runs. And I like Wilson a lot, but he's just not a home run guy. So, and then you see a couple guys I also have for home runs mixed in here. So again, I'm going to continue to track these. I may play a few personally, but it's not going to be any official tracking. This is just to kind of compensate, kind of, a lot of you guys have offered really good suggestions. One of them was maybe you don't do so many home runs. You do little hits, run, RBIs mix. I'm just trying to give you guys something with value. Remember, if you want to sign up for any of these things, do it. I have a golf show. We're going to talk about the C.J. Byron Cup Invitational. I don't know what the name is this year. They keep changing it. That's going to be at 1 o'clock Eastern time, so about an hour and a half from now. You can get that live on YouTube if you want to tune in. Twitter, even TikTok will be on there. So we're just going to talk about the golf matchup this weekend, the PGA event. Talk about where we see value, have some fun. So come by there if you want. If you're bored, hang out, listen, get in the chat. Appreciate you guys, and we shall see you tomorrow, if not at 1 o'clock.